If you're a business owner feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and ready to grow, you're in the right place. Welcome to Small Business Pivots, where founders share insights, stories, and pivots that lead to sustainable growth. I'm your host, Michael D. Morrison, a business coach helping business owners get unstuck and grow. All right, welcome to another Small Business Pivots, where we bring entrepreneurs and those that coach entrepreneurs from around the world to help you get your business unstuck so you can grow. And today we have a very special guest, but if you've listened to the show, you know that no one can introduce themselves and their backstory like the business owner. So my friend Jay, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you for those that don't know you?
All right, thank you so much, Michael. I'm excited to be here. Just like you already said, my name is Jay Adewole, and I'm a business consultant. I'm also an executive coach. I'm the founder and a managing partner at Point of View Consulting, and I'm also the host of the Winner Circle podcast. My work itself focuses on helping entrepreneurs and business owners gain clarity, which is very, very important. And not just only clarity, help businesses build better systems and also strengthen their leadership, which is very, very important for any business. And also, I also help with to grow businesses that are not completely dependent on them. Um, Most people often have businesses that is dependent on the founder. If the founder is sick or the founder is not maybe travel or whatever happened to the, or maybe the founder is dead, then the business is dead.
Yeah.
So what I do is I help businesses build structure that is not dependent on the founder or the business owner. And that's what I do.
Fantastic. Well, I know that a lot of business owners hear that I can have a business that works without me. Most of them don't believe that because they don't have that, like you said. But any back end story, like how did you get to be a consultant?
All right. So being a consultant is something personal to me. And when I mean personal, very personal. All right. I remember many years ago, I started a business. All right. I started a business I mean, 18 years ago, so like, long time ago. I started a business and it didn't grow as planned. I'd always loved to be a business CEO, founder. I love that, the aesthetics that comes with it. But the interesting part of it is I got to a point, I'm like, okay, being a founder or being a CEO is something interesting and I really want to achieve that. But guess what? Less than a year that I started that business, I put so much money in that business. I didn't have a lot of structure. I had my family help me with some cash to pull into that business. Less than a year, just like I said, a year plus, the business vanished. I lost all the money. I went back to work. So when I mean went back to work, I got a job. I just, you know what, I don't think business is for me. But when I was working as a 9 to 5er, I keep I connect my mind to the business. I really want to go back to business. All right. So I studied political science as my first degree. I'm like, no, I need to go and I really need to understand business more. I went to Harvard Business School. I did a program there. I got an MBA. Within those space of those years, when I was done, I connected myself with a consulting firm, and I volunteered many years ago, and we do a lot of consulting for many organizations, Deloitte. We've done program projects for KPMGs and the likes. The big normal, big five companies and all that. And anytime I think about starting my own business, I still remember what happened to me the other time. I've gotten all the education about business, but the practical part of it is not there, which is because you can have the knowledge, all the MBAs and all the DBAs, but you don't have the practical knowledge. That means you're not really doing the business. And I asked myself, Jay, you need to go back to business because now you have knowledge. You've done projects that big numbers, Deloitte signed on. You've done projects that KPMG is working with. You've done project that many organizations really see as a good number. So why can't you yourself take that leap of faith? Then I took a leap of faith. I talked to some of my coworkers. Now, we got to a point that we were about to start up anyways. So we got into the field many years ago, and we never looked back since then. All right. But one thing I learned within those, when I was about to set up, I knew that one thing I must do because of the mistake I made, because I later audited all the mistake I made. I figured out the mistake was that I did not have a good structure. So structure was my main problem. Not because, I didn't have a good mentor way back then, but I don't have a good structure. All right. The business, I was still in the hustle within that 1 year. I was still hustling. So when I mean hustle, like the business depend on me. So it got to a point, the business just collapsed. So that thought, that knowledge, that's what made me say, you know what? I want to go into consulting. And not just because I want to consult. I want to help businesses and I want to help business owners, all right, convert. And that's what point of view consulting, we've won awards. Right now we've won American Business Awards, and also we've won, the heart of the people. So now we don't even do a lot of marketing and all that. We just get people reaching out to us and said, I got a referral. I got a business that you guys did. And we have 40 staff strong. I mean, we have like 40 consultants working with us right now. And I mean, it's been a great organization so far.
That's fantastic. And so, for those that are listening, I want you to hear something that he said, because I know people from time to time consider a coach, but they don't know where to look for a coach. And something that's unique to you and unique to me is we've actually owned businesses and we've both failed. I had a business that filed bankruptcy due to a chaotic business partnership. And so we've walked in the business owner's shoes. And I think for those that are listening, if you are considering a coach, check out the experience of the coach. It's not about the license, the credentials. Yes, those are important, but it's more about, can they relate to where I am, right? And you did, right? You owned a
Yeah.
business that didn't run without you, so that's who you helped. So let's start there. So you said structure was the one thing that you wish you would have known. Do you feel like that's the kind of the number one thing? If a business owner has a business that can't run without them, do you think it's, let's start with structure, or where do you start with a business?
So, a business, first of all, you want to understand the business yourself. So I don't believe in you want to start a business right now, you want to put structure automatically. You still want to run it a little bit, maybe like some months or year to understand the workflow of the business. So that's where I often come in. So once we understand the workflow of the business, then we cannot build automation into it. So the thing is, the interesting thing about it is structure is everything in life. All right. The day, the night. All right. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can't call breakfast lunch. You can't call lunch dinner. Since time immemorial, it's been like that. You want to have breakfast, lunch, dinner. So if your business is structured, you already know, okay, you have a proper SOP, okay, if a client comes in, this is what we do, this is our workflow. It's easier for you to look at Michael and say, okay, Michael, I want to introduce you to my business. I want you to manage my business for the next 1 month. This is my structure. The get the book, understand your SOPs, understand how you do this, how you do that, without you even having to say it. It's already documented. So they just grab from there and continue the work. And that's what make a good business. Because a lot of business owners are passionate. I was passionate when I was running a business. All right. I was passionate and hardworking. A lot of business owners are passionate and hardworking, which is an interesting thing. They work Monday to Sunday. I don't want to call it 9 to 5. Most times, business owner is like 6 to maybe 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Whatever time they close. But passion without structure eventually become pressure.
Yeah.
All right. So my mission is always straightforward, to help leaders move from hustle to strategy. I mean, why are generals paid? You could just get the military. Oh, I have 100 million military strength. Go and fight. No, it doesn't work that way. Generals have to sit down and say, okay, we have 100 million. These people have 1 million. If they have structure and strategy, they're going to defeat me that has 100 million. If I don't have any strategy, I'll just let them die because they don't have strategy. If you watch the movie 300, we have the Spartans, they have strategy. They don't have the military numbers. So what am I trying to say is, like, a business should be like a military front. So you want to sit back and strategize. You want to move from, also, just like I said, to strategy. That means from scattered operations to proper systems. And if you look at most businesses, they're just simply surviving. They're surviving. But you want to build, I believe when you're running a business, you want to build something sustainable. Sustainable. Most brands you've seen, like McDonald's, like KFC's, different brand names, the Gucci's and, Bugatti, or, some, if you look at all these brand names, these are not brands created by the current founder. Apple was created by Steve Jobs. Right now we have Tim Cook. All right. So you want to build a brand that in the next 20 years or 100 years, 200 years, you are gone. Probably you sold the business or whatever. The business, because of your structure, the business is still going to be available in the next 500 years, 400 years. Nobody knows what's going to happen then. But your business is still going to be sustained. And that's what that's what I understand by structure. Because the thing is, I've had one of my clients, she has a lot of staffs. But one problem she had was a lot of business owner, a lot of clients, a lot of clients dependent on her for everything. She has the staff, but they still have to, she still have to do everything. Then the question I asked her was, is there any structure for your staff to follow? So I don't know. I mean, I just started the business. I love it. I made money. People love what I do. And that's where the problem is. And I asked her that, do you want a structure whereby you can relax and probably be in Mexico and you can see all the structure? You can see report, daily report, and make sure your business is running properly. Everybody gives a report. And something I was able to help her with. And right now, she really doesn't bother that much because now she has a proper structure in her system. She has a proper CRM. And that's another thing that I often see is a lot of businesses don't have CRM platforms. All right. I'm just going to give you another example. I have a client making millions of dollars. And I'm not saying they're not making that money. They were making millions of dollars, but they don't have a CRM platform. They don't have a client base. Most of the client information, they put it on pen and paper or sometimes save it on the phone. And I'm like, okay, if you want to call one of your clients, you have to go, and they don't have like a contact list. They don't have no. I'm like, is this for real? So now if you need to reach out to clients, you don't know how to do that. Then we have to help them with CRM integration. And guess what? They start doing doubles. Because now every month they send an email to clients, newsletter, Happy New Month. So most of the clients have even forgotten they exist. These people still exist. Okay, let me check them out. And so they have more clients coming back. Because now they can send them an emails, sometimes give them a phone call. Hi, just let me say hello to you. Then they go into the pipeline, put it, called already. Then call the other one, called already. So now they have more clients coming back again. Before, once the client buy, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Until they decide to come back again. And that's why you see, if you go to Macy's or, I mean, brands, I'm just calling the name of brand, and you go there and buy stuff. When you buy stuff, if they have your number or, they collect your number or, your information, they send you text sometimes and say, okay, there's a Christmas, whatever, you want to check this out. There's an Easter giveaway, 50% off, you want to try it. They're still communicating with you one way or the other. And that's the point, why a business need a proper structure to be able to move forward and become a great business. And last but not the least, in my statement is passion without structure would eventually become a pressure. That's the full stop there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I 100% agree. But and I know that most of the time the business owner is the bottleneck, right? Because they're still thinking of being a operator versus a CEO. So what are some mindset shifts that a business owner can work on so that they can get out of the way?
So if they are stuck, or is that, I just want to understand that question, is like, if a business owner is stuck and they want to have a mindset shift, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So so there's a book I've been working with. I've been working on for more than 4 years now. It's called the CEO Shift. So everything that I've experienced as a consultant, even as a coach, you know, I I worked on that book and I put all the information in there. So I mean, a lot of information is there to share. That means converting a CEO or a business owner from an hustler to a proper CEO or a proper leader. So if a business owner is trying to move from that level they are right now to the next level, they need to audit 4 things. That's what I tell them first. You need to audit your offer. You also need to check out your audience. You also want to look at your pricings. How much am I charging? What are my competitors charging? And last but not the least, you want to work with your systems, which is very, very important. Everything is based on system. They can build a repeatable system or a repeatable follow-up process, whereby once you already know your audience, you already know your offer, you know your pricing and your systems. Now you can actually even give that. I mean, depending on the kind of your business, how successful your business is, you can build a franchise. You know what I mean? So meaning you're selling that to somebody else and somebody's even buying your franchise. That's how your years of experience or whatever you're doing, that's how it becomes a repeatable system that somebody else can just grab it, maybe buy it and use it. You can get your staff and let them do what they need to do with your systems. And that's one thing I always tell business owners or entrepreneurs. And I always say one thing, do not panic. And another thing is, do not stay stuck proudly, because a lot of people stay stuck and they just prefer to just be there. So if you ever feel stuck, remember one thing, you need to step back. You need to review the numbers, just like I said earlier. You need to listen to the market. And your offer is very important also. You might be undercharging. And people will ask the question like, this person is undercharging. Maybe other people are doing it for 100K, or maybe let's just even $100. Let's say $100. And you are doing it for $20. It's low price, but some people might feel like $20. Are you sure it's quality service? You're doing it cheap. but they're still questioning it. So cheap does not mean anything. So perceived value matters a lot.
Yeah.
So whatever your business is, you need to understand it, convert it to a system. And that's what I say. Convert your business to a system. All right. So, okay, please go ahead.
You're listening to Small Business Pivots with Michael D. Morrison. If you're ready to get your business unstuck and grow, let's chat. Schedule your free session at michaeldmorrison.com. Now back to the show. Well, it's just lots of good stuff, and it keeps sparking more things that business owners come to us with. And that is, some of them are, I got to get more sales, but then I got to do the fulfillment of the sales. And then I've got an employee issue, and then I got a cash flow issue. I mean, they're just being pulled in so many directions. How do you think a business owner can, you said, don't stress out. How do you think they can get to a point where they go, okay, I need to do this and then this and then this? I mean, because they're just being pulled in so many directions that they're like, well, if I do systems, now who's working on sales? Right. So it's like, I'm working on this, but who's going to do that? Any insights that you can help them with?
When it comes to that, that's where a lot of business owner feels stuck.
Yeah.
Who's going to work on this? Who's going to do this? So I believe in one simple framework, and I call it the CSS framework. And it stands for clarity, systems, and scale. So before you even get to that point, you want to sit down first and ask a question. The clarity itself is, who do you serve? What problem do you solve? I mean, what is your offer? And why should they even trust you in the first place? Once you understand that clarity, you've already done the first part of it. Now you go into the house and talk about systems. Who's the person who does the follow-up? I don't have to answer it. I mean, different organizations, they have different staff. So now that's where hiring process comes in. Then okay, we should do follow-up. It's just like if you look at the football, the quarterback, it's like you're building a team. So when we talk about team, you can just imagine, I'm not so big on football. I'm big on soccer, but in soccer, for example, I mean, we have the World Cup coming soon. So in soccer, if you look at it, right, we have the striker, the guy who goes to go score the goal. We have the keeper who catches the ball. The player, I mean, the striker, the guy that the number 9 that goes to score the goal for the opponent cannot touch the ball with his hand. It's called foul. He's going to get a yellow card or red card for it. All right. So what am I trying to say is, you don't want to put when you're building a system, you don't want to put, if you have like 10 staffs, for example, you don't want to get staffs that are doing the same thing. So when you look at the systems, you are asking, how do leads come in? That means you need a sales team. Their job is to go get leads. That's what they're paid for. All right? They do that. Who does the follow-up? Onboarding team. They do the follow-up when the lead comes in and the lead become a customer. Welcome. Or maybe you can call them customer onboarding or customer success, whatever name you want to call them. They bring in customers, and when they have a problem, they reach out to them. Do you have a problem with your order? Do you need help? That's their job. Appointment. You might have an appointment booking. You can let the sales team do the bookings. You decide. All right. So now you're asking yourself, in the system, you're asking yourself, how are clients onboarded? So how do you onboard them? What is the first step? Do they get an email first? Do they get a text first? How are they retained? Do you send them every month a mail telling them, you're one of our best customers, we look forward to, how do you do that? Then we'll go to the scale. That means the CSS. The scale part is once the offer and the system works. So when a client comes to meet me and they ask for my, service, I ask them, I use the CSS framework to work with them. All right. Do you even have clarity for your business first? Do you have a system? Because you can't scale without without that. So you must have a clarity of what you're doing first. You must understand the system. Then comes scale. Then we can now introduce, okay, how do we introduce this? How do we increase visibility? How do we hire? How do we automate? How do you expand? Whatever the thing is. But you must have clarity first. That's one thing I help entrepreneurs do, to help you gain clarity. But like I said, the clarity has to come from your own mind. All right? And that's how it works. The clarity has to come from your own vision. Mine is just to help you clean it for you to see properly. I'm not going to give you my own vision for your business only. I want your own vision. What are you trying to see? The optician is not going to give you a brand new high, but it's going to help you see clearly. Help you with, a very nice frame and, the lenses for you to see properly, not your eye. I mean, the creator gives you the eye, and that's where the vision is. So the creator gives you the eyes to be able to see, but maybe due to one or two things, there's a lot of distortion, maybe due to a lot of information, because a lot of people watch, get a lot of information, and they end up not doing anything because the information is too much and they don't know how to implement it. Because the difference between information and implementation. So once you have information, you need to say, how can I implement this information? And that's one thing that I do. And I mean, all consultants should be able to do that. All right. So, and that's it. So just understand the CSS framework, and that will be the solution to any problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I often say clarity creates confidence, right? So
Yeah.
the more clarity we have, well, it not only helps us, but it helps our team too. I work with business owners, and I'm sure you have too, that they have all this in their head, but no one on their team knows that, we're a $2 million business and no one knows that you want to be 100 million, right? Like everybody's got to be on board. So how do you do that? Because as a business owner, you have to be a leader also, one more role that you have to play. So how can a business owner that's not used to being a leader be a better leader?
All right. So now, what I believe when it comes to leadership, all right, business itself grows to the level of the leader's clarity. So if the leader is not well disciplined, is not good at decision making, then the business is going to grow to that same level. There's no way you can go past that, because that's why they call leader. That's why they fire a coach if the team is not working well. Not vice versa. You can't fire like a quarterback like that. I mean, but the coach is the problem. So the leader is the problem, would be the problem. And leadership to me is not about motivation. It's about structure and execution. So if you're a leader and you don't know what next to do, you don't have an idea like what else, what do I do? How can I convert myself from an operator? And that's where leadership problem comes in. Not because they are not good. It's because they're stuck. Because, I mean, for you to be a founder, you have one or two leadership in you, and that's the honest truth. So, but the thing is, a lot of leaders are stuck in the operator's mindset. Most times they come from a 9-to-5 job, and probably they work in an organization for so long, and they are so good with that level. Then they started their own business. So mentally, they are in the operator environment. Mentally, they're just an operator. They're not a CEO. So for you to switch from an operator to the CEO, it's just straight up. To be the right leader, you want to stop doing everything manually. So if you're doing anything, maybe in the morning, this is how I do it, document all this information. And that's why you need a CRM. I mean, there are different CRM. I know there's, I can't say Salesforce because this Salesforce is, it's quite big. You can do POV CRM. There are other smaller CRM that you can actually do that you document everything you do every day. It becomes a normal workflow. You, for you to convert from an operator to become a, a founder, a true CEO, a true leader, you need to build systems. And how do you build systems? I mean, you need a coach, you need a consultant. I mean, look for a local consultant. I mean, do research about them. You can reach out to them, or I mean, a local coach. You can speak to somebody that does the system. You can speak to Mike. Michael is a business coach. So you need, sometimes you can't do everything alone. I mean, there's this word that says when we are coming to the world, right? And that's, I mean, and that's my own philosophy. When you're coming to the world, somebody welcome you. I mean, the doctors, they're the one that bring you out. When you're leaving the world, somebody else is just gonna help you too, put you, the mortician and all that. So what am I trying to say is, like, one way or the other, we need help. We can't do it alone. And that's where we have, like, people who specializes on this. Michael, I do coaching and all that. So I mean, there are people who specializes on that. So you need to speak to someone and ask the right question. They help you build that system that you need for your organization, and you become the CEO you need. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It's most business owners are afraid to ask for help, and for multiple reasons, I have found many times they're embarrassed, right, of the mess they feel like they have. Like no one has a business as bad as mine, so they're afraid to ask for help. Others could be pride, ego, things like that. But the most successful business owners that I know, and you probably know, we have all had coaches. And you got to have a sounding board. You got to have that support, right? Somebody that's been in the trenches where they've been, just like you shared your story with your first business. I've had businesses successful and I've had businesses that failed. And I was asked not too long ago, well, why would I hire a coach that's failed? And I said, well, so you don't, right? Because I learned some things in that lesson. In other words, I've been on both sides of the spectrum. So a good coach can guide you through those uncharted waters. And so I feel like what you're talking about. So let's talk about what you do and what you offer. You've got podcasts, you've got coaching, you have groups, you have all kinds of stuff. So how can you help people? Share with us how you do
Oh,
that.
all right. So what I do, I'm a managing partner at the Point of View Consulting. So it's an organization that will help people organizations build systems. And that's what's focused on. We've helped many organizations, especially in the New York area and in the US. And we have some clients all over the world. So we are not just limited to the US only. So if you're in Canada, if you're in Australia or in the UK, depending on what you're trying to build, we can work with you. We have like 40 consultants that work with us, so they can always for get to you anywhere in the world. I mean, in person, remotely, we can always get it done. I mean, we are registered in New York City and in the US. That's one. I also do coaching, which is the winner circle coaching program. And I have like people I work with, but most times I work with people that we do consulting for at Point of View Consulting. So I just do the follow up with them with the coaching program. Uh, and also, the winner circle, and we have a program called the business transformation program. All right. So we help businesses. So it's more like a cohort. You know, we do that like 2 times or 3 times a year. Sorry, every 2 quarters. So we just help businesses, with the cohort, and give them framework. So it's a little bit cheaper, because it's just a program compared to like if you come directly for consulting. So once you go into the cohort program, we try as much as possible to just help you. look at your business, structure it properly so that you can have real systems, not just also, you know,
Yeah.
the business we automate your business, and that's what the result of what we do you get. And those are the major two things, I would say, point of view consulting and the winner circle. So another thing is where I always talk about, I was talking about CRM the other time. CRM is very, very important for any business owner. So if you're a business owner and you don't have a CRM, that's a problem. All right. So you need to have one way or the other. You have like a CRM, how you manage your clients is very, very important so that you can retain them. Because you don't want to have a client that, I just give you an example of one of the clients, that was not retaining one of the client that was not retaining his own client. All right. So he was making money, but he was leaving a lot of dollars on the table because those clients were not coming back. It doesn't have recurring payment. They just buy once and they leave. All right. So once the client had like the CRM platform set up for him, everything was resolved, and he has like times two, or let's say X2 or more than X2 of the revenue that I was getting before now because he has a CRM. So now there's an automated emails that goes out every month. There's an automated messages when somebody buys, the message goes to them automatically. They say, thank you for buying. And maybe after 7 days, another email sent to them again, or another text message sent to them and say, you don't even have to, you can keep doing whatever you're doing, but the system is just going to do it. It's automatically. All right. The system is going the workflow is going to say, wait 7 days. After 7 days, send a message. Try to upsell them. Yeah, and that's a system. That's a working system, right? So you can be chilling and okay, all right. Even the system itself works with leads too. Whereby automatically your leads they get automation. Your staff, you can assign a staff to that, and they get that done. So, and that's one thing I've been saying, and that's the point of this conversation: is passion without structure will become pressure, and you're going to be overwhelmed, and you have no choice than to stop doing business, just like I did, and run away until I realized that what, it's better I build a proper system, and ever since then, I don't have to worry about anything again in life.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. So I'm sure you've piqued the ears of many that are listening. What's the best social channel to follow you on where they can get more insights and tips?
All right. So for my insight, we just started a program right now. Apart from the Winner Circle, we just introduced Business Blueprint right now. It's going to be on YouTube. Just search for Winner Circle with Jay on YouTube. You should see some of my interviews that interview some of our clients, and also the blueprint. You can see one of the videos of the blueprints where we're gonna. It's just a 10-minute video. Going to teach you how to start different kind of businesses and how to structure it. And also you can go to winnercirclewithj.com. You're going to see everything there. winnercirclewithj.com. Jay. Make sure it's not just J, it's Jay. And for consulting, just go to point of view consulting inc.com. That means point of view consulting, just like the way I have it at the back. Just put INC. That means incorporated, but it's just inc.com. So there's point of view consulting.com, not that one, but it's point of view inc.com. So once you get to the website, you can connect with just send a mail, contact us at pointofviewconsultinginc.com. And if you want to reach out to me directly, just say J at pointofviewconsultinginc.com or j@winnercirclewithj.com. So either of the ones, you always find me.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time today. You've been a blessing to many and a wealth of information. And I always end with one last question. And today's question is, if you had a book to prescribe to entrepreneurs, didn't matter what type of business they have, what do you feel is one book that every entrepreneur should read?
Okay. Let me grab some of my books. Let me just okay. So I'm just gonna show some books, right? So let me prescribe 3 books, right? So the first one, okay, it's called, I don't know if you can say it, it's called Purpose Driven Disruption.
Yep.
It's written by me. Very, very powerful book that you want to read. And I'm not just saying because it's me that wrote it, but it's a very powerful book that you want to disrupt your market. Another one is right here. I don't know if I can say it. It's called The $1,000,000 Decision. It's written by Robert Rowley. It's a very powerful book. Very, very powerful book by Robert Rowley. And it's something you want to grab and read. And the last one is not out yet, at least as at May 2026. It's not out yet. The CEO shift is something I've been working on for more than 2-3 years now. I've been working for a long time. So when it's out, is all the thing we spoke about today is there. So shifting from being an hustler to building the system. So it's going to talk about hiring, everything that you need to know about building proper systems. So even all the information I didn't share today, you're going to grab that in the book. And you can always get these books from Amazon, KDPs, and just one click away. If you're in the US and in Canada too, I believe you can do that also. And you can also get it on iBooks too. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Jay, again, thank you for your time. This has been wonderful, and I wish you continued success.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. And my message to small business owner is simple. Do not just chase more activity. After this conversation, just step back. Remember what I explained earlier, the CSS. So get clarity for your offer, build a system, and scale. And this is how you move from being an hustler to building a sustainable growth that, for the next 100 years. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for listening to Small Business Pivots. If you're ready to get unstuck and grow, schedule your free coaching session at michaeldmorrison.com. On social media, you can find and connect with me using the handle Michael D. Morrison OKC. And if today's episode helped you, subscribe and share it with other business owners. Until next week, keep pivoting.